and it's a completely unproductive pattern of thought that leaves us feeling unnecessarily worse rather than better. As you know, we've been talking a lot about the value of reminiscing, spending a little time savoring or just recalling things from the past. And I want to draw our attention to the difference between healthy reminiscence and something less healthy, which you hear me mention from time to time, ruminating. Okay, now there's a reason why I keep bringing this up. It's almost a little like I'm ruminating on ruminating, but this is because it's actually quite common. We all do a bit of it, and it's a completely unproductive pattern of thought that leaves us feeling unnecessarily worse rather than better. So, ruminating is when we get stuck on a thought or a memory and we go round and round in circles on it. Can't stop thinking about it, right? And during the height of COVID, I noticed that many people were struggling with this. It was like they were glitching, getting stuck on negative stuff. Now, I think this was understandable because many of us were isolated. Many of us were cut off from the positive stuff that we do that helps us put hard things into perspective. But this raises the point of drawing our awareness to it and really working on it and managing it when it comes up, I think. Now, so what types of things do we get stuck on? Because it is quite common. The most common ones, which we'll probably all experience at some point, are events or mistakes from the past, things that feel unfair, worries about the future, and things that feel out of our control. That's stuff like maybe illness, change, unexpected events, okay? Sometimes it's a perfect storm of all of these, isn't it? Now, while it's perfectly normal to have some negative feelings about those types of things, we know it's ruminating when you go over and over and over them without any resolution or any solutions. So it's like your mind can't wrap it up, accept it, let it go, and move on. Now, as we've been seeing, older people are actually naturally better at this than younger people, which is great. However, when we're older, we're also often contending with a lot of things that are out of our control. And this can leave us vulnerable to a little bit of ruminating from time to time. So, if you notice that this is happening to you every now and again, or happening for someone you care about, first, call it what it is. You say something like, I notice you're ruminating about this, or you're kind of getting stuck on this one, right? And it's important to point out the consequences of this. So you say things like, I think this is actually going to leave you feeling worse, or you're missing out on some of your good stuff because you keep thinking about this. Wouldn't it be better to enjoy this day or spend some time thinking about this, right? Sometimes just distracting someone can be helpful. So you can say, we spent enough time on that. Now I want to go and do this, or I want to talk about this, okay? If it's something that can be made maybe a little bit better with some solutions, then you can say something like, okay, well, what can we do that makes this a little better or easier? So for example, if it's illness related, we can think of ways to adapt. So we can go, okay, why don't we try going for a short walk earlier in the day before the meds kick in and make you more tired? That's a solution. And finally, you can draw attention to all the proactive stuff that someone is doing to deal with whichever issues are coming back to them. So you can say things like, I know it's hard, you're thinking a lot about that, but you're doing really well by putting it into perspective when it pops up. Or you're doing really well by doing everything that the doctor has suggested. You're great at getting your walk in or staying disciplined with your diet. Those are just a few ways we can help loved ones who might be getting a little stuck in their minds every now and again.